welcome back to me, my mom, and my Padres. Almost opening day time. 1 week away from yesterday. So 6 days left. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Is it me or the off seasons just feel longer and longer?
So long. And I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but the WBC sure helped me with my baseball
defrosting. Yes.
For sure.
I agree.
But yes, I cannot wait to, I love going to the games, obviously, but one of the things I just love so much is at work during the day and thinking, I'm going to go home and watch the game tonight. It's just the little things that I just love watching the games on TV.
I had
a
little work icebreaker question during a meeting once, and I was like, what do you like to do, for fun when the weather is up for it? Mm-hmm. And if someone were asking that question 6 months ago, or 3 months ago, I should say, I probably would have been a much more lost for words. But I know exactly what I'm doing when the weather's nice. I'm going to the damn baseball games.
That's right.
Or I'm watching baseball games at a friend's house, or your house, or going somewhere to watch a baseball game. It's just so nice to have so much of my time occupied by something I love.
I know. I think that's part of it. It's God. Maybe this speaks to us a little bit, but not having to think about trying to figure out something to do.
Sure. Well, I've been even, just with television media in general, I've been telling people that I've been amping it up recently, just watching the pit that we were just talking about, and I have my animes that we're talking about, and my reality TV, and I haven't had so much media to consume in quite a long time. And then I'm thinking to myself, and then to add baseball on top of that in a week, oh my God, I'm just going to be consumed. No one's going to be able to get a hold of me, really, unless it's you or Spencer or someone trying to watch Padre games.
Oh, it works well in my family because when baseball season starts, coincides with when Dad goes back to surfing. So he goes to the beach or golfs after work all the time. And then I'm home watching the game, and then he gets home towards the end.
It's a perfect...
Right around the time it starts, and it's just works out plan. Really great. So
or you watch the games when he's at the beach, or something like that. Yeah, so
sometimes I go with him and watch it on my phone.
And the weather is getting us... I think it's getting me a little more amped up, too, but it's hot.
Too hot.
Yeah, but our seats are in the shade, especially because we just went to spring training again. We'll talk about this a little more too. And the seats were in the shade most of the days, and that was
nice. Did you see this? That it was 104 at the start of the game. The game that started at 6:00 yesterday. It was 104 in Arizona, and they had moved all the games to the evening because of the heat, and it was just so hot.
Can be mean.
But anyway,
and then the shade couldn't do any good either.
No, exactly. There was no breeze. It was nasty. But all right, we'll talk more about.
So we have a lot to talk about. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I'm not sorry anymore for being so wishy-washy about posting, just because it's the off season, and we will be seeing more of each other as the season progresses. So we will be more consistent. I've given up on apologizing.
Honestly, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and for the most part, the only ones that do regular posting are ones that have sponsors and stuff. Everybody else that doesn't have any sort of sponsorship, they're very sporadic too. So we'll do better. But again, there just wasn't that much to talk about in the off season, and we could sit here and do. And honestly, some of those, no offense to some of them, but some of those guys that do weekly podcasts, they didn't have a lot to talk about either.
Sure,
and they had a lot of kind of boring filler.
Sure.
So.
We'll say no names, but...
Well, I feel sorry for What's-His-Face, the one that does it every single day. You know who I'm talking about.
Talking Friars?
Talking Friars. What's his name?
Talking.
You know the guy. Anyway,
Talking
Friars. I forgot his name, but yeah, he's like a younger guy. I can't remember his name.
Talking about.
He records every day, and it's I don't even know. There's nothing to talk about. Somebody else.
But anyway, thankfully,
so we're here.
We have stuff to talk about.
We're going to talk about we're going to talk about the last of the preseason stuff, and then next Friday is our first game. We go to Tony Gwynn opening day every year, and Spencer's going to be joining us. We're going to do a little pregame podcast where we're going to talk about
a PPP, my favorite.
What is that?
It's preseason pods.
Preseason pods predictions.
Pre-pods predictions.
Preseason Padres predictions.
Period.
So we're going to predict performance. We're going to predict record. All that kind of stuff. So, vibes, the whole thing. So anyway, we'll have to give that some thought.
All right,
preparation. Yeah. Okay,
start us off, Julie.
So we talked. Again, it's been 6 weeks since we recorded last. Bless you.
Thank you.
And one of the things, like I went back to visit on our way over here. I listened to part of our last just to see where were we talking about last time. I didn't get to the whole thing, but AJ Preller hadn't even
That was
signed.
kind of the top of our agenda, huh?
That was top of our agenda. And yes, yay, he did extend. And it's funny because we were talking about what's the reason behind it, what could this be about. We had our own speculation about it. And it comes to turn out, no, it was exactly as they said. Like it was going to be signed. He had no intention of signing. It just wasn't a priority because he had other things to take care of.
He was busy.
And he even said to one of the guys, I think it maybe have been Derek Torkelson, or maybe it was what's his name, Woodsy, or one of the guys like local media, and he said something about like when you could have announced this, like what made you decide to announce it now? And he's like, you're right. He goes, I could have announced I was resigning like 4 months ago. It just was it was basically like a technicality that I didn't.
Yeah.
And even what's his face, Group Nerd even was it Group Nerd that said like. Or no, maybe it was John Seidler that had said that we wanted to be in the same room with him when he actually signs it, and it's been very difficult for us to get together. And it was nothing nefarious. It was nothing.
We're just such
brutal.
pessimists.
We're just, you know, as fans.
How can you really
we've
blame
been
us?
through it.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just,
how can we not be jaded?
And, you know, some people give me some flack for exactly being maybe a bit jaded and, you know, kind of
keeping it real.
It's that also. You know, maybe not the best hindsight to look at things, but if I come into it with low expectations, you won't be disappointed.
True. Well, that's the way I'm raised too, unfortunately.
We're working on that.
So I told you, yeah. I used to have a bumper sticker on my car that said, "Since I gave up hope, I feel much better." And that was really me in college as far as grades. But then I kind of like carried that over to work and stuff. But anyway, it's not about not caring. It's just like not just.
Yeah.
You know.
Not
caring
wanting
too
to be
much,
upset.
and then it gives you
I'm
anxiety.
a girl with big feels. I'm a girl with big feels, you know, and so if I don't, you know, if I just let it.
Right. So anyway, and I think part of that is too, is that the Potters are not always the most forthcoming of organizations.
Yeah.
They have a tendency to not tell the whole truth about things. So yeah, of course, then I think that was
valid.
Valid, yeah, for sure. Though,
I know it.
For sure.
Keep talking.
Okay. Where are you going?
I just called me. I gotta go back in a second recording a podcast.
We're recording a podcast. You can tell her to call you right back. Okay. Like your sister Abby or your boss Abby? Oh, okay. Hi, Abs. Anyway, okay, so we're going to talk about a few things. So first, we're going to talk about spring training, right? Didn't we say after we talked about Preller? Yes. So we just got back home from spring training on Monday. Year 4.
New swag.
Yes, look at her cute hat.
I didn't get the other one. The spring training hat. No, it wasn't. The spring training hat was really cute. Yellow isn't really my color. If it was
bright yellow,
if it was like a brown hat with a yellow bill, that would probably been more my vibe. Also, like the only ones that were available were like the snapback ones, and again, not really like my vibe. Yeah. No. So I rolled with this, and it's cute, and it also kind of matches the vibe of my other one that I have, the blue one that I wear a lot.
One. But except the other one's blue and orange, and this one's the brown. So yeah, I love that. I think that was a great purchase.
Then you got.
I bought a new visor because I couldn't find my old one.
No,
so
she left.
I bought a Peoria spring training one, Padre one, and it came with this. It's just a brown visor. It's not very exciting, and it came with this like stupid rope thing across the top that I had the sales start cut off. Because I don't like, and the guy was saying, "Oh yeah, ropes on hats were like the thing this year." Not a fan. I think it looks
not
dumb.
for me.
Did you like that look?
I did. No, I don't. Sorry.
No.
I need to make sure we were recording.
No,
I don't. That's not for me. It's very like fisherman vibe.
Wasn't cute. It was like a.
Well, we love scissors.
Yeah, it was like a rope, like a like black or brown and white little rope thing.
Right. But other than that, we went to 3 games, and like we said, our seats were in the shade. That is a real make or break decision, or I should say strategy for spring training.
We know exactly where to sit, and I'm not telling. Well,
but I mean, what were your general thoughts on spring training? What did you see? What did you like?
So, first of all, shout out to Sarah. We love
you, Sarah.
Sarah is always
You're probably listening to this.
Yes, I hope so. Sarah's always the best, and this trip for me has become as much about visiting and spending time with my
Of
friends and having
course.
fun with her as going to the games, for sure. And we're just very fortunate that we have a friend that lives there who, although she might be moving, but she's still going to want to do this with us. So we went to 2 games at Peoria, and we went to our first game ever at I can't remember what it's called.
The Dodgers and Rockies facility.
The Dodgers and Rockies. No,
the Diamondbacks and Rockies
Diamondbacks
facility.
and Rockies
Apologies.
facility. So the local, the Diamondbacks facility. So
it was very nice.
Smart of them to make a really beautiful. I mean, it's a step above the others that I've been to. I haven't been to all of them, but definitely a total different vibe. It was deluxe. Like it felt more like a real ball park experience, much bigger, more to the building itself. You had to pay for parking. Things were more expensive. I mean,
they had like more lounge area.
Lots of lounge area. It's more covered.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so their promenade is covered.
Well, you know this. Yeah, their whole like promenade is out there.
I guess you would call the main area that you walk
the main
through.
Seating. That's all covered, but also all the seating has shade. It's just the outfield grass.
Right, and their outfield grass is huge.
It's like twice the size of
so their. I think they said something like their capacity is around 13,000, and the others are around 8.
Sure.
So it's just much bigger. So anyway, so that was fun. It was about 45 minutes away from where we were staying. So we ended up. It's in Scottsdale, and I hadn't been to Scottsdale since I was a kid. So we, we were coming from a ball game, so we weren't going to go anywhere fancy. And I know Scottsdale's kind of known for that, so we didn't even see that. But we went to Old Town Scottsdale and went to a little tiki bar and an old school, really like an actual old school, like a retro ice cream parlor diner, which wasn't recreated. It was just from back in the day, and they just kept everything the same. So we had a really good time. But anyway, back to the baseball. So, one more thing. We learned that Maddie may have picked the wrong sport. Because we went to Top Golf.
I know, Mr. Miller was right all along.
Yeah, your teacher that tried to recruit. We went to Top Golf. I'd never seen Maddie hit a golf ball before. Had you ever hit a golf ball before?
When I was a child. Yeah. When we went to the driving range, and then probably...
Oh, you were little, though.
I hadn't probably swung a golf club like that since I was 11, 12, Once we started getting serious about softball, because Dad didn't want us to ruin my swing.
Didn't want to ruin your swing. But also you played field hockey since then, too. And I think this is more about field hockey than anything. But this girl, so we went to Top Golf. And then, I don't know about the other locations, but in Glendale, Arizona, the furthest you could hit the ball was 205. And Maddie's longest drive was 195. And she hit others like in 190 in that area, too. And straight. And everyone was like going, what the heck? And we were with an experienced golfer who hit the crap out of the ball too, and he was like, whoa. So I got it on video, sent it to
for my video watchers.
Look at that. Yeah, exactly, pretty good. So anyway, so yeah, back to the game. So we saw the first game was in Peoria, and that was on Saturday. We saw Nick Pivetta pitch. I believe he pitched about 3.5 innings.
I think he pitched 4.
And he looked okay.
He did look okay. He gave up 1 home run, I believe.
3 hits and 3 runs, I think, in 3.5 innings.
Oh, okay. Something like that. I think I do remember the home run, but it coincided with our 3 home runs we saw in the game too.
And just the eyeball test, he looked okay.
Yeah.
He didn't look like, oh God.
Yeah.
He didn't look like,
he didn't look thrilled, though.
He didn't look like Michael King in last night's game, let's put it that way. So, next game we saw Vasquez. And Vasquez
looked great. Yeah. He pitched 5 innings.
Yeah, and he was giving it up. He got strandy there at the end, but he looked all right too. Looked ready. And then we saw Walker Buehler pitch.
And he looked really
He looked good.
He looked the best out of the 3.
He did. He kind of did.
I think he went 5 also.
But I think we were playing mostly minor leaguers in that game too. But they looked okay. They didn't look like I said, I watched last night's game. I don't know if you did or not.
No.
And King did not look good at all. He gave up 6 runs, I think, in 4.5 innings, something like that. He gave up 3 home runs, I think. Just doesn't. His pitches were really flat. His whole thing is he has a lot of movement on his ball, and it just wasn't doing that. So, he could definitely just be ramping up still. And someone said too, last year he hardly pitched. It was weird. But the year before, when we first got
training. Or what?
No, last year in the season because he
Oh,
was
I
hurt
see
so
what you're
much.
saying. Yeah.
But the first season that he came over, when he first started as a starting pitcher for us, he was giving up a ton of home runs. And then he kind of settled in. So we're hoping that maybe that's what he's doing here. Right now he's giving up way too many home runs, but it could be that he's just, not there yet, not ready yet. So, but because of Joe going on the IL, you bet he's going to have a run up. Because honestly,
we're going to
talk about more of this on Friday, but I think we look better this year than we did last year, but our starting pitching, man, oof.
I was about to say, I don't,
Oof.
yeah. I don't. So because the starting pitching is so dicey, I don't know if I can say we look better than.
Well, the
last year.
lineup does.
Yeah, but oh my god, if the lineup's looking good, but the bullpen is great. Yeah, but you got starters giving it 4 or 5 runs. Like
honestly, other than maybe I don't have a ton of confidence. Randy Vasquez, I seem to have the most confidence in. I mean, I think
that's insane.
Pivetta, we'll have to see. I'm just a little worried with his arm fatigue.
Yes, that is not a good sign in preseason. That's actually kind of the beginning of the end.
So what can we do?
Because didn't Darvish have arm fatigue?
I don't know. Darvish had a lot of things. You has my heart. Most of all, he has my heart, but he had a lot of issues. He had a lot of issues too, health issues. So. I don't even know what you do with that, other than you don't need 5 starters. You need like 8 starters.
Yeah.
And their 8 starters are people like Hart and Herman Marquez, who's been terrible, which I wish he wouldn't because he used to pitch really well against us, but last couple of years he's just been awful. Walker Buehler, I think, is a lock for 4 at this point, and
which is insane because when we first signed him, we didn't even know if he was going to make the team.
Yeah, I know. And Tristan McKenzie has not been good. Matt Waldron has not. I mean, we've got issues.
Matt Waldron's hurt.
Well, he's
got his issues, his butt stuff.
So I thought he's been pitching again. So he must be on the mend. But
he tucked it back in.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Something. I don't know. Tucked his hemorrhoid back in. I don't know how those work. I don't know. I have no idea.
Maybe I'm thinking of a hernia.
You're thinking of hernia. You're taking hernia. Oh God, Matt. So anyway, So the only we're in a bad spot with the pitcher because number one, who's available? There's nobody like.
You're right. Who is literally going to get the opening day? Who's going to get the opening day started?
Well, okay.
Nick?
Preller needs to go. Yeah, I think so. I think it'll still be Pivetta. So Preller's got to go out and get another starting pitcher.
He's got to sell some bullpen. I know.
He's got to sell some from the bullpen. I totally think he needs to sell
Estrada. I think it's going to be Estrada.
Or Morihone, because Morihone is last year of his contract.
Yeah.
You hate to lose either.
I don't know. I think because they're two setup. They're two good setup guys. I just think the combination of Morihone and Miller is something that's going to win you ball games, and
we have to
that's
be able to
nothing.
get to
I
save
know,
situations.
and right. Yes. Well, that's why you trade Estrada, and then someone else.
We've had the good news is we've
had a Ty France.
Well, I was going to say we've had a handful of guys that have performed pretty well. Bench players, we have too many of them. We're the opposite problem with kind of who are we going to not give a contract to, because we've got, like you said, Ty France is on the list. There's a lot of them, and so maybe he could throw in one of our relievers, and then 1 or 2 of those young guys that are cheap and have some potential,
and take the risk like that. I know Pivetta was a signing last year, not a trade, but take a risk in maybe getting a number 3 pitcher from a not so good team.
It's not gonna be a trade though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But see what Niebla could do with him.
Right. Well, the best a project.
Yes.
So your Nick Pivetta. Who's the other one I was just thinking of the other day that we made him into a really good pitcher, and he was always kind of questionable. He was good, and now he's still good.
Starter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm trying. 2 years ago.
Gallon?
No, he was ours. Now he pitches for somebody else. He pitched in the WBC for Puerto Rico. Seth Lugo.
Oh,
someone like Seth Lugo.
Yeah, or Waka, or Michael Waka.
The only other, this is a fantasy, but the only other thing you could do, this is not even worth mentioning, but just for fun, we'll throw it out there.
Sure.
Is we get new owners, which is supposedly is imminent, and those people have the money, and they're like, go buy a pitcher. So you go to an organization that's got a pitcher that is willing to. They want cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna
like the team wants cash.
The team wants cash, like what the Giants did with the first baseman with the guy from the Red Sox.
Hello. Oh, freaking Devers.
Yes, thank you. So they just basically went and bought Devers from the Red Sox. So we would need to do something like that, which is again at this point is very far fetched.
Sure.
So that's putting a damper on things for me a little bit, but at the same time. Feel pretty good about our hitting. So anyway, speaking of...
feel good about our hitting because, what we saw in spring training,
True.
especially from our bench, Castellanos has had a really, really good spring training, I think I could say. Do you agree?
It's been okay.
Yeah. Who else? Who else? I mean, at
all
least from what we
those
saw.
bench guys. Like,
I know.
It's crazy. They're the Jace... What's his name? Jace something? Jace Batten? Jace something? Anyway, he's fighting with Bryce Johnson for that. He's basically the same kind of player.
Oh, yeah, Bryce Johnson looked pretty good when we saw him. Like I said, Ty France looked pretty good. Big fan of Ty France. Big fan of Ty France.
Jake had a decent spring.
You know what? Jake's looking like he's trimmed up a little bit, right?
He had a decent spring. I can't remember the others. But yeah, there's good. They look... Manny looks a little...
Well, Manny was in the WBC. He's probably having a hangover from that still.
But he didn't hit that great in the WBC
it's
either.
True, but who did?
He did have great
Who did?
Tati! That's the other thing. That's the other... Let's get excited for Tatis.
Should we roll it over into WBC then?
No, I want to talk about one thing really quick. So, we were talking about the sale.
Mm-hmm.
Should be imminent. And right before... Oh, no, I lost it. Right before we started recording, I saw this post on... Reddit, Potter's Reddit, and I'm going to pull it up because it was very interesting, and I said I would read it. Padres. I had it all. God dang it, I had it all. Padres. I had it all queued up too. Our Padres. Okay, so why can't I find it? I hate.
Well, give us.
Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. It's from Forbes magazine. Padres now the 10th most valuable franchise in the MLB. That's kind of incredible to me. Okay, so the Padres sold for $600 million in 2012, after cable money was accounted for. 14, and that's when we had cable money. Mm-hmm. Okay, 14 years later, Forbes is valuing the franchise at $3.1 billion.
Way to go!
So from $600 million, what was that? 14 years ago. Wow. 14 years ago to $3.1 billion. So, as the Seidler family closes in on a record sale price, perhaps as soon as next month. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. A year ago, Forbes valued the Padres at $2 billion, which ranked 17th out of the 30 Major League Baseball teams. So, in the past year, it's gone up $1.1 billion. And why? Okay. This year's value, so we went from 17th. Now, this year's value we're now 10th in baseball, and is at a Major League best 59% increase over last year's valuation.
In a year.
No wonder they're selling right now.
Thank you, Gallagher Square, right?
We'll get to that. The sale of the team, according to Forbes, could also reach $3.5 billion with the inclusion of their events businesses, their events business, which generates tens of millions in annual revenue apart from the team itself. So those are all your concerts. Mm-hmm. So you got to give a shout out to Eric Grupman for that. So that's the concerts and the rodeo and the golf thing and the Christmas thing and all of that. Probably a lot of it's concerts, let's face it. That would easily trump the record $2.4 billion that Steve Cohen paid to buy the Mets in 2020. The Mets are currently valued at $3.5 billion, sixth most in the majors. The Yankees lead all teams with a valuation of $8.5 billion, which makes sense. California's other MLB team ranks second. The Dodgers at $7.8 billion. Mm-hmm. Fifth, the Giants at $4.05 billion, and 11th, Angels, $2.8 billion. Okay. And 18th, the Athletics. I'm surprised the Athletics are 18th.
This is probably because it's like
18 out of 30.
Old California team.
Maybe.
You know?
They're worth $2 billion. The rest of the NL West valuations have the Diamondbacks ranked 19th and the Rockies ranked 25th. So,
sorry, D-backs.
That's interesting. I mean, to me, we're the top 10 in I mean, we are a coveted asset, and that's what they were saying when this sales talk started. And I was saying the same thing. Like, teams are having a hard time being sold. Like, baseball teams don't want to be sold. I mean, that's not an opinion. That's fact. There's several teams that have been trying to be sold, and they got pulled back because they're not getting what they're asking for. I think there's 3 teams like that. And the Padres, they have multiple legitimate bids. And this goes to show, like, it's a good investment. So, all right, you want to talk about the WBC? What's your thoughts on the WBC?
Oh, my gosh. I'm trying to think how much I watched of it in 2023. I feel like I did. I think I watched the finals. But I think that's about it, mostly because I was grieving Tatis.
Totally, yes.
At the time, you know?
Yeah.
I was much more
I was
hyped.
thinking the same thing.
I was much more hyped this tournament, and I was trying to get more people hyped, too. I was trying to get Spencer into it. I was trying to get some other friends into it.
Were they not?
Spencer, no, he wasn't. But, like, I had some other friends who were.
Why weren't they?
They're losers. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Maybe because it wasn't not as important.
Because it's an exhibition.
Them. Sure, whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that air feels good.
But golly, was it not just the most fun thing to watch? Even the pool play. Even I watched.
So fun.
When I was first started watching, I thought I was just gonna watch like the Dominican games and like the Japan game.
Yeah.
And maybe like, no, honestly, I cannot even watch
Great Britain versus Brazil.
Thank you. I was watching every single game. I think I was watching Israel and Italy or something like that. And I'm like, wow, it's just so much fun.
And that Italy-US game was such a freaking blast.
It's so much fun because it's high intensity. And maybe some people don't like it. And I can see the argument that, like, it's a bit fluky because it's, like, a single game, like, record, you know,
elimination.
But who gives a damn? That makes it exciting. Like,
that makes one of the things
that makes it more beautiful about baseball. You know,
I think that makes it more exciting. I think it works
because even you take Venezuela. Yeah, they were definitely no one. I can't remember their odds. I don't do any odds.
They were picked to come in 5th, I believe.
Sure, but I mean, and then yes, like the games that they won is a one game series or whatever, but they still have to beat Japan.
Yeah,
and the U.S.
They beat Japan and the U.S.
Yeah.
So yes, they are the best team in the world.
And it just, it made me so happy. It made me so happy.
And they were a good
for Team Venezuela, you know, to just see those people. Have you ever heard of like fission? It's mostly like with music. Like music makes you like emotional. Like you get chills listening to music, or sometimes you have it. Fission, yeah. And then sometimes, and then sometimes you like it can get you emotional. You can
I didn't know how to turn. Yeah, I know some people feel that way, and some people don't. And that's me.
That's me with music, but that's definitely me with like a crowd of fans celebrating. You know. Their team winning. Yes. It makes me emotional. It makes me emotional seeing people have tears of joy. That's what it is.
Did you see the pitcher was crying?
Yes.
Before he threw the last pitch?
And that's what makes sports romantic.
I fell in love with those Latin teams. I really did. They then the contrast was, I don't want to bag on Team USA too much, but wow, it was like they were very hard to root for. I think they kind of have
a right to get dogged on a little bit.
And it's funny because
it's such a...
They were hard to root for. They were hard to unlikable.
And you know what? I'm sure that there was a large fan base for the U.S. that was so about the message and the vibe that was coming across. Come on, you can't deny it. But not for us. Not for us.
You know,
at all.
Maybe casual fans that were tuning in to watch the game like they watch the Olympics.
Yeah.
But if you're a baseball fan, I think knowledgeable baseball fans look how Team USA was versus the Latin teams, and even Team Italy, not just the Latin teams,
and Japan,
all the other teams, and how they played with they played like Alyssa Liu skated. You know, they made it was a game, and they had passion, and they were having fun. And the Team USA played they had a bunch of sticks up their asses, and like they
bring in the SEAL Team 6. What the hell?
And they kept referring that there were a bunch of alphas, and no one.
We're sacrificing for our country. What?
We're not sacrificing shit.
No, you actually lost to Venezuela.
Yeah, exactly. Irony, right? Yeah.
Then that is the most beautiful story of it all.
And then the whole thing with Cal Raleigh not shaking people's hands, and the other teams were all like hugging, like they were all hugging each other, and the USA made a pact with themselves that they weren't gonna acknowledge their teammates on the team. Why? Yeah, why did you have to do that? I had to be so hard. Ugh, it was bad. So, and I definitely think they could have easily won.
Sure.
I think that the main reason they lost was that their manager was terrible.
Not a manager.
He's not a manager.
Not a manager. Didn't know how the rules of the tournament worked.
Pretty obvious. But they could have won. Whatever. They were a very good team, obviously. But were they very fun to watch? No, they weren't. And I just feel like baseball. They want more younger people to enjoy the sport. They want to grow the sport internationally. Whatever. Then they need to start thinking about how do we market this better? How do we make it feel that same kind of vibe? Now, don't get me wrong. You cannot maintain those vibes for 162 games.
Yeah.
That's a huge,
exhausting.
Huge thing. That's just not even possible. So people are already saying...
But then don't like, downplaying it or, like, shame them when they do have that sort of...
Exactly.
Enthusiasm.
So it's just like... I love it. I love it. I think that's what's making baseball more fun. Make baseball fun again.
We love it because we see the big picture, right? And you were talking about this earlier. Not only do we find it entertaining, but the young fans, the people that are going to watch baseball for the next 10, 20, 30 years are going to find it way more exciting than these freaking boomers. So like you said, have a lack of better terms, a bat up their ass.
Yeah,
like,
you know? Yeah, it was, exactly. So it was weird. It was just, it's super weird. Like, I wasn't even talking to people about it, and I'm like, God, I'm getting Team USA. What's going on with that? It's like, I think honestly, my own prejudice come in too, because things with that country, it's hard to feel patriotic.
Well,
right now.
But they also had to double down.
But then they doubled down on it. That's exactly.
On that agenda.
I don't remember them being so like about that.
Well, I think that
3 years ago.
We're getting, no,
I
don't think. I think maybe a dash of it, just like not like to the extreme as it was this year. And then also, I think we got like a really, a pretty big like juxtaposition of what like the Olympic athletes were like doing like because they were not very there's
not all of them, but
not all of them, but also the ones that have gotten like a platform, they were not kind of expressing their patriotism as much.
Right,
you see what I'm saying?
Well, and again, that all depends on which side of the coin you're on, because
sure, I wasn't watching the men's hockey. Yeah,
I mean, it totally depends. I mean, some people think like it was super wrong of anyone to be the least bit of critical of the United States. And the thing is like, I didn't hear anybody say anything particularly critical, and I agreed with them. Like, I love my country. I don't necessarily love or think it's okay what's going on in things. I don't agree with their decisions. Doesn't mean I'm not patriotic or I don't love my country or whatever. And I didn't hear anybody say, I'm ashamed to represent the United States. No, I mean the Olympics I'm talking about. So I think you have to kind of only look at this in the guise of the WBC, because it is a short window. It's gonna be hard to what is the word, extrapolate that into 162 games. But at the end of the day, like you said, let's start leaning more into the fun, the unwritten rules,
or just accepting it.
The fun, the noise, people are already like going, oh, man, and Tatis, why could they act that way? And then people are
because when Tatis did act the way that he
people make fun of him.
He was shat on.
Yeah. And then like Robert Acuna was saying, Acuna? Yeah, Acuna. What's his first name?
Robert.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know. I know him as Acuna. He was saying that winning this meant more to him than winning a World Series, and people are giving him crap for that. Why?
Excuse me. Aaron Judge said the same thing.
Did he?
And no one's, like...
And for my country, right?
Or, Derek Jeter was trying to, like, throw shade at him. Ronald.
Thank you. Yes. There you go. Ronald Acuna.
And he was saying, like, some people who are saying that winning this is bigger than winning the World Series probably haven't been to the World Series, and then it's just a snapshot of Aaron Judge, who was literally just at the World Series.
Who said that? Yeah, exactly. Thing. So, it's...
And it's just, you know what I think also was rubbing us the wrong way, too, was just, and I understand where, like, it's an American-based media outlet, like where we were watching it on Fox Sports or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But oh my god, the fucking glaze that they
Of the
had
team.
over Team US.
Oh my
is
god!
just
It was
so
someone. I think it was Julie. Someone texted me and
annoying.
said, "I'm getting like, oh Dad," he goes, "I'm getting Otani vibes with this whole broadcast."
Yeah.
But it's, instead of Otani, it's every single person on Team USA, and I think that they were totally homering for Team USA, and they expected us all because they do that with the Olympics too, 100%. But gosh, again, the medium I'm exposed to on Threads or whatever is a certain. I know there's bias, but people were totally rooting for other teams.
Yeah.
Big time baseball
Well,
fans.
and then people were saying that the stadium in Miami for the finals was like
totally
95% Venezuela. Yeah. And I can't remember who the announcer was. I think it might have been Jeter, and he said he's like, you know, although like some people or maybe like the majority of people aren't going to be happy with the results. I'm like, my guy. Yeah. I think the majority of people watching this game right now are happy with the results. Yeah.
Exactly. Or then like I think Smoltz said something too, like they caught a lot of shit for saying something like even the best teams lose to the worst teams. That's baseball or whatever. And Venezuela was definitely not. I think he came back, you know, a couple days later he said that's not what I meant, but that's how it kind of came across, you know. I saw one quote that was they were talking about Acuna, and this person said, "I can't believe that he thinks it's more important to how can a player that plays for a United States team." Oh no, it wasn't Acuna. It was somebody that was born in.
Oh, was it?
It was Vinny Pasquantino. Or when you like that, it was. Do you know?
Wells?
Maybe, but it was something like who? It was somebody that was born in America and playing for a different team, and it was a Red Sox though. So.
Duran? He played for
maybe,
Team Mexico.
yeah, maybe it was Duran. And they're like, I don't know how a player who was born in the United States and plays for the Boston Red Sox would consider playing for.
Hey, honey, do you know what America is about?
Well, I said, well, how come they're playing? And I go, and my answer was, because they're playing for their heritage versus playing for their employer. Yeah. You know, I mean, they're ultimately the Red Sox are their employer.
Like, you think about this in an even, like, grander, you know, picture, like, I'm so sorry, I think that's honestly kind of as American as you can get, is to live in this place but have heritage and family and
the great American melting pot.
Exactly, outside.
I've always thought, well, we're very pro-immigrant.
It's true.
From all the way back to now, you know. So that's to me what our country is. We're all immigrants, you know. So and I love that aspect of it. I love it.
Me too.
So yes, I'm very much love the WBC. There's been talk about it moving to
All-Star break,
which I would love. I think that would be great.
I know what you and I'll say here, and I'm probably in the minority for this, but I'm the same way that some players didn't play Lindor, and I know there were some
Lindor
others
was hurt.
But okay, nevertheless, there were some players who didn't want to play because of fear of getting hurt, you know, before the start of the season. I'm kind of under the impression that if there's a team that's in contention, right, they're like, they got a wild card spot or something, I fear that they would have some hesitations to play the WBC, A, because they're going to be in the middle of the season and they do need a break, and B, like, what if they get hurt for the second half, you know, when they are in contention, too?
I think, just like now, it affects everybody. Every team that had a superstar that played, it affected them. So everyone's taking the same amount of risk. You know, if your teams are playing, if you're letting Aaron Judge play, and you're letting Shohei Ohtani play, then just to give you an example, the teams are taking an equal amount of risk.
I can say, okay, but there were also like some restrictions that teams had against how is that not going to be just like accelerated?
Every team can have.
Girl, let me.
I'm sorry. I get what you're saying though.
You go for it.
Okay. One thing maybe you could say is you can have, you could either freeze three players on your team that cannot participate, and the team.
It's not going to be as fun because you're going to freeze Miller, Tatis, and
Okay, here's more fun. Every team can only contribute 5 players. Or something like that, you know.
The risk is still there.
Yeah, but you can pick who you're gonna.
The team picks. Mm-hmm. Then where's the fun in that? Because then they're just gonna pick their benches.
I think it's the same argument. Okay, to me though,
I think the risk is higher. I think the risk is higher for players to have that I can see the reward maybe being a little bit more. I mean, honestly, I think the reward is going to stay the same. And if anything, they're going to get a high from winning this WBC and then have to go back into this grind.
I'm going to say,
as well.
Okay, I'm going to say 2 things that I think would be benefit moving it. Okay, first of all, when they go into spring training, we had a by the way, successful WBC this year with lack of injury.
Mm-hmm.
Really, like that was good. So anyway, but they're more in playing shape when they get to
spring training.
Spring training. I mean, when they get to the middle of the season versus spring training. Spring training, they're still ramping up. They're still getting to know their teammates. They're getting to know new manager, new staff, new coaches, things like that in spring training. So I would prefer them staying and preparing for the season together. Whereas if they had it in the middle, then they've already grown with that team. The other benefit being, other than those players playing, the vast majority of your players are going to get a longer break. So if you have, especially pitchers, if you've got a couple guys that are, tired arms or whatever, they're not necessarily your superstar players by any means. You know that, right? Like, it's just your 5th starter or your bullpen's tired. How many times do you hear that? Your bullpen's tired. So that's going to give an opportunity for the vast majority of players to get a little extra rest in that time and give them a bigger break with their families.
Wouldn't you want your Paul Skeens to have as long as a break as you could?
Maybe you put in add more pitchers, and then they're not pitching as much. They're going to have to do it in a way where it's regulated. It's going to be the same as it is right now.
Yeah.
It'll be the same. And again,
I still have my thoughts.
It's a little bit of a sacrifice, but it's going to be the same effect as it has now, except that I think with more benefits. It's the same amount. It's the same risks they have right now, except I think if you did it in the middle of the season, there would be more benefits.
I think the risks are similar. I think the risk is higher, actually, because an injury in the middle of the season when you're a contender is a lot worse than an injury in the beginning of the season when there is no such thing as contention and your team can work around that injury for as long as possible. This is worst case scenario. And then also, okay, you don't think there's going to be any sort of like drama or gripe with fucking Raleigh and a Rosarena when they get into the dugout at the beginning of the year?
Well,
I think they're I don't know, there might be, men are very sensitive. I would much rather have a whole season for them to repair a relationship if one were to get damaged than have to try to repair that in the middle of the season.
I think that's kind of irrelevant. I don't
think I don't think it's irrelevant at all. You've seen what bad dugouts can do to a team.
I guess my point being, I think it's irrelevant whether it happens in the beginning of the season or the middle of the season, because these guys are professionals, and if they're going to carry this over.
Professionals.
They're a bunch of big freaking
They're a bunch of big
That
babies.
means that they have issues anyway.
They're a bunch of big babies.
Yes, they're a bunch of big babies. So I don't think it's that big of a difference.
I have my thoughts on it. That's all.
Keep in mind too, we wouldn't have the All-Stars game that year. And keep in mind too, they're already talking about doing this in 2028 for the Olympics, because they want baseball's back in the Olympics. And hi Harold, can I help you? And some of these teams have qualified already.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously they'll have different players, but it's going to be way more fun, like hockey was, and basketball with the Dream Team and stuff, if the actual major league players can participate. So they're already talking about, this is supposedly going to be part of the new collective bargaining agreement, taking 2 weeks off during the Olympics. Plus that affects TV viewership and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to be watching the Olympics, so whether they like baseball or not,
Mm-hmm.
So it might be smart of them to pause baseball for that as well. But anyway. I'm a fan. Anything else, Matt, before we break? And I mean, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna.
It was so nice seeing such joy out of Tatis. I just hope that he has this much fun playing down here.
He won't. It's not possible.
No, I know, but maybe he can just like roll over a little bit and he starts off really, 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 really hot. That would be really fun to see.
When he does well, he has fun.
I'm excited to check out our new pre-game happy hour spot.
Yes.
We started strategizing on that a little bit. Oh, buddy.
I saw the new food they released this year. There's
pot
some pot pico. There's some pretzels that look pretty good. They're like baked soft pretzels. There's a big pulled pork sandwich. Probably won't have that. What else was there?
There's a big old Harold right here.
Harold. What are you looking forward to eating at the ballpark?
My words.
When they're bad.
Yeah.
Well, not when they're good. They're bad. Your pessimism. Yeah.
I
Fair
don't know,
enough.
girl. I mix it up quite a bit, don't I? I do like that chicken place that's always there.
The hot chicken place?
Yeah.
That's good. You don't eat much. I mean,
That's
you're
the
not a big
thing.
eater.
Yeah. A bite of your Philly cheese.
Well, you know
here
what?
and
I'm
there.
off the Philly cheesesteak, I've learned. I would get it maybe once or twice.
Maybe, let's see.
It's those nachos. The freaking
Oh,
nachos.
I can't. Barbecue sauce just doesn't do anything.
Oh, you don't like barbecue sauce?
Let me see.
Oh, I
I
think
do
it's
like. Hold on. Let me think. Maybe I'll go down to Ballast Point at some time, see what they have there.
yeah.
Oh, that fish market.
Fish place
That's
is
always
good.
really
That
good.
shrimp taco.
Yeah, that's connected to the AleSmith.
Yeah, that's really good.
That and then just hanging out with my gang. We're
Can't
back in business.
Can't wait.
This is going to be a different season for a majority of
Yes,
things.
yes,
I
yes.
think I'm going to feel a
created
lot
one
more comfortable.
Created one
Speaking my
person.
truth and like not being myself and I think we all kind of are gonna.
We traded a seatmate for another seatmate.
Yeah,
and
so I'm really excited for this season. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see the new City Connects.
yeah.
Rumor
Let's talk
has
about
it
that
April
soon.
9th is when they announce. Any predictions? I think it's gonna be some variation. Of
I don't
blue
think
and
I'm gonna
orange.
like it no matter what. Come to think of
I think it's gonna be some sort of
the
variation.
things
of blue
the
and
ones
orange.
they've come out with, by and large,
And I have my theories.
are tacky as hell. So what's your theory?
Because the last City Connect matched the Waves uniform, and so maybe the City Connects will match the FC's uniform.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right, we gotta go. Mom's gotta pee, and also I gotta pee.
I gotta go.
But
All right.
45 minutes, crushed it, girl. All right,
boy.
we'll see you our opening day Friday.
Yeah.
Bye, love you.
Bye,
Bye, my
bye,
Padres. Love you.
bye.
Bye.